Hello there, greetings and welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show. Sorry, my hat's crooked. A show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. We're back for episode 2 of the mini series that we're running for the next 5 days, which is entitled My Favorite 5 Led Zeppelin Albums. I kind of came up with this because I had done a Beatles one and I felt like this was the other band that most people consider to be the best of all time, and they're one of the bands that I love, so I had to do a Led Zeppelin one, and so that's what we're doing. So today I'm giving you my second album of my 5 favorite ones. These are not in any particular order. I chose this one. Well, I rolled the dice. This one rolled the second highest number, so it's going second, and this is In Through the Outdoor, originally in a paper bag cover, and we all wonder, oh, what the hell is that? What is that? What kind? There must be something that nobody's supposed to see on it. And then they took it off, and I just don't see anything. I've looked at it and looked at it. I don't see any reason why they put that paper bag on there. Anyways, this was my first Led Zeppelin album. Yes, of course, I had heard songs off of the first 4 albums and Houses of the Holy and all that, but this was the actual first one that I bought and owned, and of course I had the paper bag one, vinyl, and my sister now has that along with my Led Zeppelin 2 and 3 and whatever other Zeppelin ones I had that were in vinyl, but I now have all of these on CD as well. So excellent album. Only 7 tracks on this album. So what we're doing, if people aren't sure, is that I'm going to talk about the album a little bit as I go along, but I'm giving you 5 categories. So the first category is my favorite song, then the second one is best vocal part, then my favorite guitar solo, my favorite bass part, and my favorite drum fill. Those are the 5 categories we're going to be talking about, and at the end I'll give you some honorable mentions of parts in the album that I thought were really good but not my favorite parts. So these are my favorite parts. So I'm going to start out with my favorite song. The song's kind of very prog-like, but it's got a lot of keyboards in it, and I think that's why. Well, this whole album is got a ton of keyboards on it, but this is my favorite song, Carouselambra. Very prog-like, but really catchy song. I always like the keyboard part on here. I think it makes it almost kind of mysterious in some ways. It's kind of a weird title as well, which I liked, but it's catchy as hell, this song. Absolutely love it. It's been my favorite on this album for some time. Initially, I think my favorite probably was In the Evening or Fool in the Rain. One of those two were probably my favorite, but over time, this song has taken over and it stays at the top for a long period of time. So my next category here, of course, is best vocal part, which I think some people will argue with me here. I'm sure I will get some ridicule here, but I like the vocal part on Hot Dog. I think it's very different from most of the stuff he does. It's not as melodic. It's more up-tempo. It's more beat. You hear his voice very clearly. It really adds that rockabilly flavor to the song. Actually, he does a great job on it, and I think for today, I think it's probably my favorite vocal part on the album. My favorite guitar solo. This comes from Learning to Crawl. I'm gonna crawl the very end of this album where it's like really melodic, slow, emotional dominated energy with a really well constructed song. I think a real well constructed guitar solo. So I'm gonna give it to I'm Gonna Crawl as my favorite guitar solo for this particular album. The next part is my favorite bass part. I think that comes in Hot Dog. It's kind of bouncy. It's very different. But he's playing piano on this too, which really adds. So I'm giving him credit for both the piano and the drum part that he does. Really always the backbone of Zeppelin, giving them that solid rhythm part that makes everything else fit like a glove. So the next part is what I think is the best drum fill on this album. I think it comes at the end of Southbound Soraz, that little drum fill part at the end that's kind of really catchy. I like that the best of all the drum stuff on the album. Real catchy, a little bit difficult, but not overly difficult. Just a fantastic part for a song that is a little bit different from what they normally do. So now I'm just going to give you a little bit of the honorable mentions here. So I like the keyboard synthesizer part on In the Evening. I think that eerie kind of part at the beginning sets it up for that nice sledgehammer that comes and knocks it out of the park. Some really heavy drum beats in this particular track as well, and I think the guitar solo is very melodic and very interesting. The next part that I liked was the nice heavy drum fills in Southbound Soraz. I think they're really kind of catchy as well. I had originally put them as honorable mention, but had moved them up so that they became my favorite drum fill on the album. So they got mentioned twice, which is fine. There's some nice drum parts in Fool in the Rain as well. I like the rockabilly guitar part, solo kind of thing that he does on Hot Dog. I think that's really catchy. The keyboards on Carouselambra are probably the best on the album, I think. And the album is very much dominated by keyboards. There's a little bit of keyboard domination on just about every track. And the vocals are all, in All of My Love, of course, are sweet sounding and almost Stairway to Heaven-ish. And, actually, when the album first came out, a lot of people thought this was kind of another Stairway to Heaven. I don't think it is, but it definitely it was within the realm of reason, let's put it that way. So there you have it. That's my favorite stuff on Led Zeppelin's In Through the Outdoor, one of my 5 favorite Led Zeppelin albums. This is episode 2. I hope you liked this. If you did, please put a like, and a subscription would be great as well. And if you've got any comments about the album, you can put them in the comments section below. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. This will give you a warning for when the next episode comes out. And don't also forget that we have 3 more episodes in this. One will come out on Friday, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, or actually, no, this is Friday. So Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I apologize for that. I mixed it up a bit. And we will see you then. So take care and have yourself a good evening. Goodbye.